Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We're back with NPL Season 6. This is Week 9 versus my boy Alpha, who was so nice and took over a squad. A team that we beat in Week 2, I think. 6-0 actually, but made some changes to the squad that make my matchup a little less good, I would say. I still have a solid matchup, but it's like shit like Vaporeon and Skuntank, which he brought, make my make make my matchup a little bit more difficult. But we built a hot squad, and yeah, we got a nice game plan here. So we see how it goes. But let's hop over the squad. Volcarona, main win condition, or one of my two main or three main win conditions. Um, Quiver Roost, max HP as always, Giga Drain, Flamethrower with the Flame Plate. Modest with like 108 EVs to guaranteed 2-hit KO. Physically defensive, unaware clef after lefties with the Flamethrower, and to like 2-hit KO Zapdos from full, even if it's like max HP, to do a big chunk to Gallade to 2-hit KO Skuntank unless it's AV or Spadef to really do a lot of damage to this thingy here. And Giga Drain at +1, 2 kills, physically defensive. Vaporeon, but looking at this team, it definitely looks like it's a Spadef Vaporeon. Like, it just makes more sense with like a potential um, Trick Room Psychic Reuniclus versus Carmine Finny versus Giga Drain Bulk. So I expect this to be mostly Spadef, like maybe Mix, but Max Spadef also has some merit versus me, even though it leaves it a little bit more weak to, a little bit weaker to Landorus and Mega Scissor. But Skuntank, I think, should be a pursuit variant versus me because I got two psychic types. If I see I can't like 2-hit KO with the Volcarona, he can potentially pursue trap me if he's Black Glass. He does like 50, which should put Volk in range for rocks if I don't get him off or something. So yeah, we gotta I gotta be mindful of that. Anyway, Landorus T, Sword Stance, Earthquake, Ground Z, Rock Slide, and Substitute. Substitute is a move that I put on last second pretty much on this Lando. I wasn't sure like what run. I considered Z Iron Tail for Clefable, but Earthquake into Z Earthquake bobs Clefable anyway, even if it's unaware. Like if it's unaware and I'm +2 even then. And Substitute is a nice move to capitalize on potential sacks if you want to switch around and like try to like lure me into going for the Z ground. Then I can capitalize on that by going for sub and pretty much guarantee me a KO. So that could come in handy. Very bulky Lando again, like max HP. I think I got like 108 attack EVs, only 100 speed to creep and minimal invested Zapdos. I don't really need any more speed unless he runs like a very fast HPI Skuntank, which I didn't really expect, but definitely could come. But yeah, I'm comfortable with the level, with the amount of speed I have. If shit out speed, I don't really care because I'm so bulky to take any one hit. Tapu Fini here, Taunt, Defog, Moonblast, and Knockoff. Knockoff is here to help out Lando and Volcarona mainly. It can knock off berries. Um, for example, like a Sugar Berry on Skuntank. It can knock off lefties on Zap. It can knock off lefties on Vaporeon or Clefable. It can knock off whatever item Necrozma has. Like it could be a boosting item, it could be Z, which I can't knock off obviously. But if I get rid of lefties or black sludges or sugar berries, Lando goes in. I expect, like, if Necrozma comes, I expected it to be Tanga Berry, which Phoenix also can knock off, but obviously I'm not Bug Buzz on Volk, so it doesn't really matter. Reuniclus here is a modest variant, but max HP and a lot of Fizz Death to function as a decent check to Gallade, even though like plus two knock just bobs me. Like I think I live a +2 knock, but like it does like 98 or something, so it's not really a counter. But it's a Carmine variant with Psychic, Psyshock, Signal Beam, Recover, Anti-Rocky Helmet, obviously. Well, not obviously, but it's nice because it allows me to get some necessary chip off on Gallade. For example, a Psychic Psyshock plus Rocky Helmet into Gallade puts in range of +2 bullet punch easily, maybe even in range of a regular bullet punch. Puts in range of a flamethrower from Volk. Guaranteed puts like one Rocky Helmet hit, puts in no two Rocky Helmet hits, puts Gallade in range of a Moonblast from Finny. So all of that is pretty nice. But definitely gotta be mindful of Gallade because we don't have an outspeed on this team, which forces us to play really carefully with Lando to get a potential Intimidate off. To We need to keep Finny healthy so it can live a Leaf Blade or Poison Jab, which I need to be at like 62% to live it. So we gotta play really mindful around Gallade, and if he like keeps it for the late game, that could be trouble. But with Intimidate around, with Bullet Punch, with potential Flame Body Burns, I should be fine, especially like with the Rocky Helmet to get some chip off as well. If he doesn't have like close combat, if he packs Drain Punch over close combat, Scissor lives a +2 Drain Punch, which is nice. But anyway, Bronzong here. Oh, also like Real Necklace with Rocky Helmet guaranteed beats Skuntank 1 versus 1. If it doesn't have Crunch and only has Pursuit, it clicks Pursuit versus me and does like 27, which I can like just recover up on. Go for a Signal Beam if need be, Carmine up and beat it 1 versus 1 easily. Even if he like goes for an Adamant Poison Jab, that's not a 2 KO, so that's pretty clean. Like I always beat non-crunch Skuntank 1 versus 1, so that's clean. Bronzong here, Mono Earthquake variant. My opponent has like 2 Earthquake immunities, no resist, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, the only mons that are immune to Earthquake are Zapdos and Swallow, which he has, and I can just Toxic them. I got Toxic, Protect, Earthquake, and Stealth Rock. Protect just to get lefties, to scout for Pursuit, maybe make the next turn a 50-50 if I reveal Earthquake earlier and Skuntank is low. I got enough attack EVs to 2-hit KO offensive Skuntank with Earthquake. Should do like 55-ish if it's like a speedy max attack variant. And yeah, overall, this Bronzong is here as a check to special attackers. It checks Necrozma fairly well. It checks Clefable even if it's a Carmine variant. If it's unaware Carmine, I would say. If it's Magic Guard Carmine, Bronzong is not a check, but versus Magic Guard Carmine, I can quiver up alongside that with Volcarona and beat it 1 versus 1. Even like if he crits me with a +6 Moonblast, I don't think it knocks me out. I'm fairly sure. Maybe it does, but I'm really bulky and I have a lot of speed depth. And I can always like Z Earthquake Clefable to put it in range of a Scissor Bullet Punch, so I'm not too worried about that. Unaware Clef is actually a bring that like I expect. It could also come with Carmine, in which case it probably would be Moonlight, Carmine, Moonblast, and Flamethrower or Fire Blast. And that's one of the reasons why this Bronzong is heat-proof and not levitate. My opponent does not have a fire type on his roster, but he also only has 1 ground type on his roster, which is bad versus my team and will never click Earthquake versus Bronzong. That's Seismitoad, because like Seismitoad wants to get up rocks, wants to catch Finny with a Sludge Wave maybe, can click Skull to burn like whatever wants to come in, but overall it's just bad. It's set up for Reuniclus. It doesn't really beat Finny 1 versus 1 if I knock off a Moonblast spam on Nature's Madness. It isn't a check to Volcarona because it gets Giga Drain and so on. So I opted for Heatproof because it checks Unaware Carmine, Fire Blast Clef, even if I'm low, like a +2 Fire Blast does like 40 or so from Unaware Clef, which is clean. It's a decent check to Z Heatwave Necrozma, which definitely could come versus me, just to lure Bronzong and maybe prevent rocks. It helps me versus Skuntank, even though like if Skuntank has like Fire Blast, Pursuit, Poison Jab, and Defog, it's a little bit better than having like than having a Levitate, because in case he wants to like go for a play that covers most options, like covering Scissor while also hitting Bronzong if I'm in with Bronzong, he doesn't want to click Pursuit, he maybe wants to click Flamethrower, and then I can capitalize by going for Rocks or Earthquake to bop it. So that's also clean. It also helps with Zapdos, because if this Zapdos is T-Ball, Heatwave, HPI's Roost, which I expect because that's the best set versus me, Maybe Discharge over T-Bolt, obviously, because Paras are a thing. But if he sees that T-Bolt, that I'm out of range of a T-Bolt, but am in range of a Heat Wave, if I'm Levitate, maybe he clicks that and I can catch it with the Toxic to wear it down. My answers to Zapdos, especially if that's offensive Zapdos, are not that great. Reuniclus always checks it, Volcarona does too, but I don't really want to switch in hard Volt without Misty Terrain up into Zapdos because he could run HP Fly, he could run Discharge to para me, and like Reuniclus, if it's a U-turn variant over like Heat Wave or over Roost or something, Life of U-turn, for example, could do an annoying amount of damage and would force me to switch out with, for example, like an incoming Necrozma or incoming Delayed, potentially. Like if Delayed is exit, that forces me off and keeps me low, so I don't want that to happen. So Heatproof Zonger can come in very handy here. Last but not least, on the squad, I got Mega Scissor, Roost Sword since Bullet Punch knockoff. I contemplated a lot about the last move. Superpower was an option, knockoff was an option, U-turn was an option, even double defog was an option because like I want to keep rocks away. But I opted for knockoff because that allows me to potentially sweep and also to get rid of an item on Zapdos, which can be huge, can be really huge for me. So that's the squad. I'm sorry that I like went into the squad for so long, but I like the build and I want to cover everything and why I brought it so that I don't have to explain too much during the match because that was a rather long match and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's go right into it. I decided to lead off with my Finny because I want to get the terrain up in case like he leads with Zapdos. I don't really have a counterplay to leading to a Zapdos lead. I could have led Landorus, which pretty much covered every potential lead, like Clef, Zapdos, Necrozma, and even Gallade. If he wants to like get a Mega off early and try to break my team. But versus, and then I could have like just went Finny on the HPIs and then go Volcarona on Discharge. But I want to Misty Surge up, Misty Terrain up as early as possible to prevent like status on my squad. So I go into my Lando here, scouting for the T-Bolt, just to see, just to scout on the next turn for the HPIs and also like having like also scouting for Thunderbolt, um, going Lando on the Thunderbolt. That's what I want to say. Allows me to go Volcarona on the HPIs and like not having to take a Thunderbolt. If it's life up, it would do like 50-ish. So I wanted to be safe there. So he goes for the hidden power ice and he reads life or max special attack. Looks timid though, but yeah, looks definitely like a Zapdos that creeps Jolly Lando as max special attack and then some attack, which is kind of bad for me because I don't have a really good switch into max special attack, life orb, zapper. But if I can knock off life orb, I'm in a decent spot because then Volcarona checks it better. Finny lives a hit easily. Reuniclus takes a hit and so on. So he goes into the opponents are just flamethrower trying to gauge the damage, and this reveals to be max special defense. The opponent here I go. I predict him to go for the wish, just in case I go for a Giga Drain or something. Like he doesn't want me to like Giga twice or something to put it really low. Then have like a free Quiver Dance on a Protect. I go for the Quiver Dance because Scald is not a 2 KO after that, and yeah, I can like just Giga on the next on a wish. I do 44, which is a nice damage, and he reads the haste. So I'm probably not beating this 1 vs 1 anytime soon. But if I can get a free Quiver Dance off and keep it low, like and get rid of his lefties, I'm in a good spot. I go to Finny here. Finny always comes in free on this Vaporeon because it's Wish, Protect, Haste, and it needs to be Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump pretty smart because it can 2-hit KO +1 Volcarona while Scarf cannot. So that's kind of good idea, but it also means that he only has 8 PP and I can easily stall him out by always going Finny. So this Vaporeon, because he has Hydro Pump, can actually be 1 vs 1 by Volcarona because he can just spam attacks versus it, force him to wish, force him to haste, and so on. And always like quiver up, roost up, waste PP, and go from there. But here I go for the knock. I predict him not to go hard into Gallade on the Finny, and I can get rid of the Tangaberry on Necrozma. It doesn't really matter, but looking at his team, if this is unaware Clef, he probably wants to have a status move potentially or Encore for Reuniclus and something like that. So I predict this Necrozma to be a rocker. The damage here revealed to me that he's definitely max HP and probably has some defensive EV. So I predict this to be a slow Necrozma. I got a little speed on Finny, like I had like maybe 20 EVs, maybe 32 or something, or 28, I don't know, 36. And I go for the taunt to prevent rocks early. And to prevent like Morning Sun and outspeed, which is nice. Can't use Stealth Rock. And here we'll go for another knockoff, not trying to give Zapdos a free switch, and that works out. I get rid of the Life Orb, which makes it much easier to check. Thunderbolt does a fuck ton to Zonger, as I think I go for my rocks here. No, I go for Protect. I'm scouting for like another T-Bot. I don't want this thing to get too low. This Skunting is on a balloon, which is fucked up because now I can't really attack it. It goes for the crunch here on my Protect. I'm at a nice amount of health, but I can't really take a crunch, especially if it's offensive. It does like 60% or 70%. Not that much, but it does like over 50 for sure. And now I'm like, hopefully isn't crunch pursued with like black glasses or something. But yeah, I'm pretty much forced to switch out, and I could go into Lando, but I would have to click Rock Slide versus that. So I go into my Volt, trying to get a Flame Body. I don't get it. This crunch does 41%, which means he's definitely attack invested. Could be anything between max attack and like 100 attack, depending on the roll he got. But I can just go for the for the Giga Drain, because I can roost up on the Skuntank probably, and I can get health back versus the Vaporeon. I go for another Giga because I know the Wish is coming, and Hydro Pump isn't knocking me out anytime soon, so that's fair. Go to Zong on the Hydro Pump, and now I can get up my rocks here. Or did I click Toxic? No, I get up my rocks, and I know he's going for rocks here now, but I wanted Toxic off on this thing, put it on a timer. I can always defog for free with Finny on the Vaporeon, and right now rocks up for him are worse for me, or like it's more important for me that rocks up, because that gives that keeps Zapdos from coming in for free. Here I go to into my Lando on a predicted knockoff, or like the scout for knockoff, and on this next turn I think I just Rock Slide, yeah, trying to catch the Zapdos or the Skuntank. Clefable comes in. It is in range of a Z Earthquake if it's Fist Death, which looks to be, but it's a roll, so I don't want to risk it here. I think I just switch out. No, I go for the sub. Yeah, trying. That's what I said. That's why I sub. I want to see if he wants to scout for the Z Earthquake, which he actually does, and he goes into Skuntank. Yeah, I want to scout. I want to like be in a solid spot versus a scout play into Skuntank or Zapdos, and now I can just easily go for the Rock Slide. As he reveals to have the HPIs. I get some nice damage off, showing that he's like either has no HP or he's like hasty and has some investment or something. But I do 42 with the Rock Slide, and now I'm in a decent spot because HPIs is like a fairly obvious play, and if he has defog, it's on this Mon, and with Zapdos around, maybe he wants to defog, but also he probably wants to cover me switching into Volcarona, me switching into Scissor, which crunch HPIs, potential defog, Skuntank. This thing won't have anything for Scissor. That is my guess, because he wants to hit the Tapu Fini, especially considering that he is a very speedy variant, as he like either has already revealed or will reveal later. But anyway, I'm going for the Earthquake here. I'm actually, if he's uninvested in special attack and like Naive or something, I'm out of range of an HPIs, which is nice. But I also predict him not to go for the HPIs. I predict him to go for a Crunch, maybe to like go for Flamethrower if he has it to catch the Scissor. But HPIs is not a play because it just gives me free Scizz, free U-turn, or free Bullet Punch. Adamant Scissors Bullet Punch actually knocks out this Skuntank engaging from them. So I think like he predicts Scissor to come in 100%, or maybe even predicts Volcarona to come in or something, or like predicting Finny as a pivot and like just wants to go for Crunch and then like Poison Jab on a next turn or something like that. But I was certain he wouldn't click HPIs here. I wasn't sure what move he wants to go for. I was saying either Defog, maybe Pursuit, which would be a hot play if he actually had it. Crunch, very likely, maybe Flamethrower if he had it. But at this point, I was kind of certain he had like Poison Jab, Crunch, Defog, and HPI. So I go for the Earthquake here, and this man actually defogs. Yeah, he was speedy on this turn before. Yeah, I forgot that. But he defogs the rocks away from me, also for Zapdos, as I can knock it out with the Earthquake. So Skunting is gone, which means his defogger is gone. That's nice. Zapdos comes in. I go into my Reuniclus on this attack. I go for the cover here, scouting for like T-Bolt damage potentially, and like yeah, just going for hits. I know he's getting up his rocks, but with the Crossma being on a timer, I can just click Side Shock here on his next turn, because if he knocks, he takes helmet damage and goes down, I can just freely defog with Finny on the Vaporeon. But now Clefable comes in. He is unaware Carmine, goes to +2 on my Reuniclus, and I go to Zong, and he's like in before he proves Zonga, and I'm like, yeah, maybe. He goes for I go for the Protect on to scout for the Fire Blast first and to get a lefty's back. Like, I know he's attacking here. I don't really care about the damage, about the HP set, and I'm actually living the Fire Blast. That's 42%, and I get the Toxic off, which is absolutely amazing for me. It's like, fuck yeah, that's rough. I go into my Vault knowing that I live any plus to hit. Fire Blast would do like 40 max, maybe 45, but I'm guaranteed living it. I'm outspeed this, and yeah, I can just roost up on the next turn. Obviously, dodging the Fire Blast is nice because I don't have to roost up that often, and now I got to like a pretty free Quiver Dance or Giga Drain. It's a Quiver up, trying to like cover Zapdos coming in on a potential Giga Drain and like threatening me out, and also like because then I would be speedier and can just click Flamethrower for the KO, and to guarantee that I get almost back up to full if Vaporeon comes in, because I force him to haste by doing 49. I get back up to 90% as he hazes. Here I go for another Giga Drain on the Wish, I think. No, I switch out, that's later, okay. I switch out into Finny, trying to get this defog off. Yeah, because Hydro Pump is a very likely play, even though like I could have knocked him off with 2 Giga Drains, but keeping Volcarona safe, healthy is like more important than like trying to 1v1 this Vaporeon, because I can do that later. I get rid of the rocks on my turn. His defogger is gone, his rocker is gone, so I can potentially get up my rocks later with Zonga. I go into Vault here on the Zapdos, Quiver on the second T-Ball, because then I outspeed, take less from T-Ball and can just roost up. I roost up again, Vaporeon comes out, I can Giga again, put him 26. Had I gone the 45-ish roll here, I would have 2-hit KO'd him here, because Giga Drain does like 30 to 34-ish, 29 to 34-ish, but doesn't really matter. He gets the Wish off, but I'm back at full, which is nice, and I can go into my Lando here, and I think what do I do here? I think I substitute up, predicting him to want to switch out again, scouting for the Earthquake, and I can go for the Rock Slide here. Even if he roosts, Rock Slide is my best play because that keeps him low, and I actually get a very high roll on the Zapdos to knock it out, which is unfortunate for him, but I definitely would have Earthquaked on the next turn to like either like sack my Lando there or and like keep it in range of Bullet Punch or catch it on the roost. So it was like this Zapdos was going down anyway versus my Lando. So Clefable comes in, trying to threaten me out, and now he probably is like convinced that I'm not the Earthquake, and I go for it, and he actually doubles into Gallade, trying to catch my Reuniclus or my Finny or something on the switch in. No, not my Reuniclus, my Finny or my Volk or something. Maybe my Zonger, which would have given him a free SD. But just Tech Rage, the crit does not matter. I'm adamant that knocks out 2 regular Gallades, so he sacks his Gallade there, as I like was pretty free to just the Earthquake there, because it guaranteed would have knocked out Clefable, and would have like was a roll to knock out Clefable, but very much in my favor, and yeah, it caught every double he could have made. So pretty clean there. Clef comes in, I can just go for another Earthquake here as he knocks me out with the Moonblast. That puts in a range of Scissor. This is Bullet Punch 100%. I do like 40-ish min, which is nice. Knock out this Clef, and now it's Vaporeon against the world, and Vaporeon with Hydro Pump can't beat my entire team, thankfully, especially because it like doesn't have Toxic to potentially 1v1 Finny after like 5 turns. I SD up as he goes for the Wish and knock him off. Get another high roll there. But this game was over anyway. So Scissor is not too killed um, by Hydro Pump anytime soon. I could have just like 1v1 it with knockoff, and I'm able to win this game after 50 turns in a nice 5-0. Nice 5-0. Good game to Alpha. He made some questionable plays like defaulting on Lando and going hard Gallade on my tech rage, but I get behind some of those because like they were covering some options. They freed up Zap with the defog. If he like thought he could scare me out there, Gallade could have caught like a switch into Zonga and give him a free SD, which probably was his best option to win this game at this point. So I definitely got behind this place, but they just didn't work out for him at all because I played it as safe as I could and like never like never like gave up pressuring him. So like I tried to like keep the pressure up and force him into plays that put me in a better position than him. So I think that worked out, and we improved to 8-1, which is nice. If we win our next game versus Melantosh, we actually um, we actually guaranteed to be the number 1 seed in our conference, which would be pretty nice. I think I clinched playoffs by now because a bunch of teams have 4 or 5 losses in our conference already, which is cool. But I definitely want the number 1 spot, and if I beat Melon, I'm guaranteed to have it. So that's pretty clean. But anyway, I hope you guys excuse me. I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and leave a like in the comment if you did, as always. And I catch you in the next one. See ya.